And 3, 2. Oh, come on. Zoom says.
It says live.
Oh no, it's counting me down and it's stuck on 2. Come on, Zoom. Oh, 1. This is the what is this doing?
I've got a note saying mine's come up on the screen saying meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
And you're live, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Harry. With this been handed over by our technical department. So hello, hi. Not such a hot Monday today, but it's still quite warm, but it's been quite rainy, but that's good because we needed it. Well, certainly my garden did. I don't think I did. But anyway, we've got me and Angie here today, and we've because Angie is a designer, wonderful graphic designer, and obviously I do websites and things like that. So what we've decided to talk about today is starting a business. And what do you need? What is the first thing you need apart from an idea of a business? So we just want to sort of talk about the first steps. I think I'll talk about the first steps about domain names, because we did agree, didn't we, Angie, getting your business. If you've got an idea, people sort of have an idea, they get a name, and then they go and look for the URL. But you have to do that at the same time. You literally, as you're brainstorming business names, you've got to check and see if you can have the domain name.
I've been in a position with somebody we've kind of started looking at the logo design, and I've kind of checked back with her and said, you're calling your business XYZ. I said, are you able to get that domain name, and are you sure that there isn't anybody else with the same name? So it is really useful to look up and see if there is anybody in your vicinity or in your area where you want to work that has a similar name, because you really don't want to give them the Google juice.
and sometimes, they could come, it could be that name, but they've got a completely different business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they've secured maybe the .com, and the .co.uk isn't anything. It's owned by somebody, and somebody tells you that you can buy it for £6,000 or something ridiculous. But you could get like the .uk. I mean, we've just secured. We're doing a little joint project with our technical people called Website Rescue, because what we do a lot of the time is rescue websites on a design front. And what they do all the time as well is rescue websites from hosting and crashing and databases and all that technical stuff. At the end of the day, a website is a technical piece of kit. Yeah. It's files and folders. And so what I wanted to do was to just share my screen briefly. Who's disabled screen sharing? Harry, have you disabled? Am I not a host anymore?
You're asking to ask Harry to do that.
Harry, I need to share my screen.
Hang on
a second. This is great, isn't it? Harry, help.
Let me.
It's real life. It's fine.
Yeah, isn't it? It's live. This is live. But anyway, sort of what we're going to do is I'm going to show you sort of what you can look for when you're looking, or how you look for a domain name at the same time that you are thinking of your business name. What's your view on hyphens, Ange?
If you have to, I think. I don't know. The problem is if people don't if you've got a name that is very, very similar to somebody else's and you put a hyphen in, I think, and the business is the same, I would be a bit worried. But I've known people who desperately want the name for that business and have gone ahead with it. So the thing is, there's so many different URLs out there with .business, .london, .essex, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I don't think you need to be
when they came out with the suffixes, I mean, obviously nothing is as good as your .coms and your, but having said that, from an SEO point of view, if you are only a UK business, and you are not thinking of trading internationally or anything like that, then the .co.uk is the best, or the .uk now.
Yeah, that's
So
true as well. Yeah.
we've got your .uk's. I've just managed with somebody. They bought the .co, and unfortunately, I sort of looked at what, you know, I said really what you need, and that the .uk was available, but they just bought the .co. And I said, no, get the .uk. It's better than the .co, because .co, a lot of people like go .com or something. Do you know what I mean? They think they've typed it
By
wrong.
accident.
Yeah, and they type in .com, and then they get a 404 error, and then they go away. That's it. You've lost them. So, but
Yeah.
the .uk is now good, which is, and we managed to get website rescue.uk.
That's perfect, really, isn't it? Because you are looking really for UK businesses. So yeah.
Totally. So apparently screen sharing is now fixed, which it is. So I am going to go straight in and share my screen for, can everybody see that? Everybody as in you, Ange.
Yes, completely.
Right, what we've got here is a my.subset.host, because Subset Solutions, and again, I highly recommend that you if you're a UK business and you're going to run your business in the United Kingdom, you should use a United Kingdom hosting company. Yeah, none of these GoDaddies and GoMummies and Just Host, Blue Host, Pink Host, Grey Host. Get a UK company, and I thoroughly recommend Subset. So Subset Enterprise, this is their technical site, but we've got this portal here, which is my.subset.host, and here you can start searching for a domain name. So if we go sort of website rescue, which was the one that we had, right, and you hit search, it will tell you, oh, you need to have the it's saying that you know you can't actually have this domain name, right, because it's offering it to me. Yeah, I'm not sure if this search, I'm not quite sure about this one. Sometimes I use this one as well to search. 123 Reg.
Yeah.
They're a good UK hosting company, so I search sometimes with them. So if I go website rescue and search that, it comes up with what's available. So
I think that's really useful. Yeah.
So, and they're really good. They do a sort of first year sale kind of thing. And then so you see, this is what happens. The website .net is quite a good suffix. So hence they're selling that for £290. But you don't need it. It's not critical. So you know, we've got all the .info. I'm not bothered about buying them. Right, I've got the .uk, so I'm happy. Yeah.
Do you think are people still using the .org? Are they still using that for charities, or is that something that isn't really thought about?
Again, I think it's not a hard fast rule. You don't have to use a .org for a charity. You know, nobody's going to penalise you for using a .org, even if you're not a charity. Org just stands for organisation.
Yes, I suppose it does. Yeah.
Com stands for commercial, so that was the first one. .com, which was, and the commercial UK was the .co.uk. So that was
limited. Is quite good, isn't it? Limited is quite a good idea.
Yeah, the problem with some of these suffixes, I don't know if it is still, but it used to be that some of these suffixes, you find it that a lot of sites, if you go, like, let's say you go for website rescue.limited, and then your email is, my email will be carol@websiterescue.limited, and sometimes if you go and want to register on some companies for things, they don't recognize some of the suffixes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'll say this is not a proper email or something like that. I don't know if they fixed that, but that certainly was a problem in the past. We had a couple of websites that had .today.
Oh, yeah.
And then you try and go and sort of register with, I don't know, something else with your business email, and it wouldn't recognize it. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's really important to get that domain name right. So and again, try and avoid the hyphens, but do a search for a name for your business at the same time you're trying to name your business. Literally, you buy the domain name according to, you literally name the business according to the domain name that you can buy. And really don't think of doing it any other way around in this day and age. If you are
sorry. No, I was going to say for your keywords, it's really, really important, isn't it, for you getting websites together, having the right keywords in the name, which will help the searches.
It's a big consideration. It is a consideration, definitely. It's not the be all and end all. There's a million other things that you can do to get your website obviously up the rankings and get it properly indexed. If your business is some kind of gobbledygook name, I don't know, but then if you don't have the word, say, design or consultancy in your URL, it doesn't matter, but it's good if you do.
What do you think on misspelling the names when they're kind of like bespoke spellings for I can't think of anything now, but where somebody wouldn't normally spell a word in the business like that, but that's their chosen business name. What do you think about that for websites?
Okay, let me share it. Just staring at the screen there. Oh, Linda's going to be with us as well. That's nice. Hi, Linda. Oh, she's muted again. Hi, Linda. I'm just answering a question Andy's asked about. Just ask the question again so that Linda can hear.
What do you think of the different spelling of a business? Say, let's be really, really simple, like BIZ instead of business. That's really too simple because a lot of people do still search for that. But to change the name of the business so it's a bespoke spelling, and how much problem that might cause. All
right, I've got a good answer for you, and that's where, and you'll come in on that one. We've just actually registered because we've got this idea to do some sort of really simple courses on setting up a WordPress website and building a professional WordPress website. We can't find anything out there that's really sort of doing that well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To build a professional, so it'd be a course thing. So what we thought of the word easy web. You can't get EASY web because we want the .co.uk and the .uk and all of that rubbish. So we found EEZI.
Oh.
Easy web.
That's quite cool. I like that.
So okay, right, Ange. Then it's over to you.
Yeah.
Get it well branded. I think so what I was going to say, the answer to that is then it's down to getting a really good brand and really promoting the brand so that name becomes synonymous with what you do.
Yeah, because there's a franchise called Easy App. So you would have to, what I would do at that point is I would do a search on Google, see what else came up that was anything similar and see what their logos is and make sure that we stayed away from any of their colours, any of their kind of simple, anything that could be confused, even though it's a different spelling.
Brilliant.
It would be making it really stand out against anything else. So
I think that safely sort of takes us into the next stage of once you've registered your domain name, what do you do next? You need to get your brand, don't you?
You need to start. Yeah, you need to start find somebody, find a designer, talk to several, ask lots of different questions. And ask for referrals from people who've worked with them as well. That really helps, because actually there's so many people out there and so many prices that you've got to make sure that you find somebody also that you can get on with as well, someone who you kind of can communicate with and kind of feel comfortable with.
It's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
really, really important. I think Linda would agree to that. So just quickly before we go into the sort of design aspect of starting a business, Linda, do you want to just tell everybody what you do?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Ange, as well.
thank you.
Yeah, I work mainly with women, sort of senior executive level, senior professionals and business owners, around getting back to a place of calm and stress-free. And I use a particular form of coaching which teaches them mainly where their experience comes from, why they think and feel the way that they do, and then why they act on that. Because when you understand where your experience is really coming from, you realize it's not from outside of you and all the stuff that's going on. It's actually within your grasp to get back to calm at any time. So that's the basis of it. And I do that online coaching, online training as well. I've just started running a new course last week, which I'm piloting at the moment. It's called Why Do I Feel Like This? And it's a 4-week, 1 session a week course, and that's going really well. I've started with 2 groups just to give that a good run out, and then I'm maybe going to develop a bigger program around that and go much deeper into how the brain works.
That's amazing. You know what you could do, just sort of coming up, because you know, it stands to reason, and I think one of the reasons why we're doing a few of the things that we're doing is because a lot of people who aren't able to go back to work or who've been made redundant and everything with COVID, who might be starting their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you caught people before they started in business and taught them how to actually run a business without getting stressed.
I could teach them how to keep their brain under control, but rather than how to run a business.
I'm both laughing because we've been running our businesses for quite a long time now. So yeah.
I'm not get stressed in business, yeah.
Well, I don't know. It seems it'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? If you did a sort of, you know, about to start a business, I can teach you how to actually start a business and know how to keep you calm while all what is it not lose your head while all around you are losing theirs. That's with Rudyard Kipling, isn't it? If that poem If by Rudyard Kipling.
I couldn't set myself up as being an expert in helping people setting up a business though, because I'm grappling my way through that myself.
No, but keeping calm and doing the right things.
And if you make mistakes, you know, everybody makes mistakes, so don't panic over them. There's easy ways to kind of, you know, take it back and just correct a few things every now and again.
How to learn from the mistakes rather than stress about them.
And how to talk to people. I think sometimes I've had I wouldn't say irate, but a stressed client, and trying to also remain the calm side here and not take anything personally, and understand if that was me, I'd be probably screaming my head off that something wasn't working, and just being able to breathe.
It's so easy to take it personally, isn't it? That's the thing, and it's always about the issue. If you can detach yourself from the thinking that you're having in that moment, because we feel attacked potentially, it's distancing yourself from that emotion and just seeing the facts as they're presented. And this is a person who is stressed and really needs some help. And that's what we're here to do, rather than getting emotionally involved in that and triggered and maybe not handling it in the best way. That's
and often it's just understanding and explanation on how sometimes something works or doesn't work, or how we can solve it as well. So it's, I mean,
there you go, Linda. There's a whole nother course.
Yeah.
I'm going to be busy.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are going to be, you know, starting new businesses. So I think that's where we could all step in and help. But I want to just I'm going to just show you what I've done, and you can. You'll probably go, oh my god, this is the sort of semi-amateur or semi-professional logo sort of thing that I've done. We're two businesses that are merging. We both have two very distinct colours. One's blue, one's green. And we've started a little business, a sort of merger called Website Rescue. And it's about rescuing websites from front to back and back to front, literally anything in between. So I've done you actually, it'd be quite good. I'm being a bit cheeky here. This is going to be a bit of a you know, getting your opinion. So if I share my screen again.
Ooh, they're nice.
So we've done a few little logos here, just sort of different fonts, different things. So yeah, I think I'm quite pleased that it reads Website Rescue and IT Rescue.
Very nice. I like that. Yeah. Yes.
So just to explain to people, sort of this is the kind of thing that you do that you would get, hopefully, I'm sure, well, probably a lot better than this from Ange, definitely.
It's very good. It's very good.
Sort of, we knew our colours, so we've just stuck with the colours that we knew and we want and we like. But yeah, it's just about sort of coming up with various different designs, a device. You always have to consider a logo and where it's going to go, especially on the internet, whether it's going to go as a long one or whether it's going to go as square. So I always like to kind of have a square kind of device. So the device is the little symbol, or whatever you want to call it. And then, yeah, then the rest is just the copy and how it would translate long ways as well as that way. So
it's really useful to do that, and also sometimes to set the icon next to the W, like on number 9, but have it completely long, because
yeah, that's probably what I'd do with this one. I wouldn't actually. Yeah. I prefer the Website and Rescue on top of each other. So for a long time, I'd literally just take the logo. I'd take the device.
I know what you mean.
Device. You call it a device. That's it. I called it a device. So I'd just pick that up and pop it there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it works either way. So it's
maybe make it a bit bigger.
I do like that device. I think it's it's really unusual. I like the simplicity of like the cross and that kind of rescue part of it. But I like your swirly device, your circles.
I know, I like it because it's kind of like, it's a bit internet. It's a bit it's a bit Thunderbirdy, right? Rescue.
No, I like it.
A lot of people wouldn't know that. What do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
I like your text in number 3. It's a bit different. It's quite modern. Like 2 and 3's text.
Yeah.
I definitely like the IT standing out in blue out of the website. I think that's brilliant. I love that.
I like that because it's got a wee bit of a fade in it as well.
Yeah. No, I think I like those. Yes. Very good. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Anne. Wow, that's amazing. I am very I'm very chuffed. There, so that goes there.
That works beautifully.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Okay. And Linda, what do you think?
I like number 2 as well. I think the IT really pops out in 2 and 3, actually, with or without the fade. I think that was the ones that were clearest to me. And I also like that font. But I like it when the one that's at the bottom as well, when you did the longer one and moved the logo. Yeah, that one. Yeah. I suppose, it's not quite as clear, the IT jumping out. You just wonder why the E is blue rather than green. But once you've got it, you can see what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. So, right, listen, forget about it. But thank you very much for that. That really, really helps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my share, and Ange is going to like show us how a professional does it.
I love it.
So this is what happens when you've got your domain name, you've done all of that malarkey. You've got your nice domain name, you've got your proper suffix. You know you're happy with all of that, and then you go and see Ange, and you say, right, I now want a brand and a logo.
Right. Okay.
They're two different things, by the way.
Oh yes, yes. Right. Let's hope you can see this. As I said.
I need to move you guys out of the way because I've got two screens. Okay. Oh, brilliant.
Okay. So it's just part of a presentation that I ran last week about the process behind creation of a logo. I believe that the logo is the hub of your brand. So from the logo, you then start building the brand around it, which has to do with every part of your business, wherever it's seen and wherever people experience it. So you're looking at building the logo itself from the colours, the images and the fonts. You create a personality with that logo. Your appearance and the professional branding is really, really important for everything that you do. So it's got to also represent your promises and beliefs and your quality. I see so many logos that are pixelated and are really badly put together. And you think, well, how does that reflect on your business? So you do have to think about the quality. People do notice it. The customer experience is all involved in your brand, your customer service, what the features and benefits that you offer. But everything that you do is reflected when somebody sees that logo and that brand, and that's how you want to be remembered. So I've created a Brandstorm. It's a branding and logo workbook. It's 36 pages, I might add.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So I can work through it with you before or afterwards when we take on a branding, but it covers a brand audit. This is for companies that are either rebranding or starting. So the brand audit will cover what you might want, as well as what you, if you're an existing business, what you already have and what you might need for the new brand. So we do a brand audit. We look at everything that you've got and that you're using. We look at your target market, where you're actually heading, who you're trying to attract, your competitors, where they are, where their market position is, how you want your brand to sound, certain words that you want to use, certain words that you want your customer to feel comfortable with when hearing about it. Developing an emotional brand, which is how you want your customers to feel. So if you want them to feel alive or kind of empowered, energetic, exactly. And then your visual brand covers all the colours and the images. Then we do types of logo. So we go through those. So you've got all sorts of different ways of creating a logo, from just a typographical logo to something that's got an icon or just a picture. It depends, or how we integrate it with your actual name and your branding, how you want to feel. So that's the workbook. So after that's completed, we then look at a mood board. So the best way I've worked out to do this is to go on to something either like Pinterest or some of the stock photos, and just do screenshots of things that you like and that are relevant to the business, create a mood board. And what often comes out of it is a surprising colour scheme. I give a slight example. I created pictures all over my kitchen wall, and when I look back at all the postcards and the images that I'd collected over the years, they were all orange and purple. So it was really interesting. They're the ones that had attracted me over years and years of collecting nice images. So often you'll kind of suddenly realise, oh, actually, although I wanted dark blue, something comes up within that brand, that mood board, that actually makes you think, oh, what if I added this or this colour? So looking at colour schemes, ones that attract you, ones that interest you, and they need to be slightly relevant to the business. I don't always believe that every professional business has to be blue or red. I've got a logo that I created for a builder, and it's very pinky and reddy coloured, so it's very much more targeted to the person who probably makes the decisions in the house. Need I say more? So yeah, but that's actually on here later on. So we look at typefaces, kind of all the different styles: decorative, heavy, light, modern, just to give you an inkling of kind of where we can go with it. But even though you might have chosen a typeface, I then look at your brand name in different typefaces, because they can give off a very, very different look and feel. If you can see from the scrawly letters underneath the TWs, sometimes T's don't look like T's, or J's don't look like J's, depending on what font it is. So either we swap, we cheat and kind of use a J from there and a F from there or something like that, or redraw some of it. So it's very much looking at how you want it to look and feel.
Can I just say something about fonts?
Yes.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Font is just huge. I remember I actually did do a degree in visual communications, and we had a sort of like, I don't know, there was just like a day and a half of lessons every week on fonts. And when we first started, I was like, what on earth are they going to do a day and a half a week on fonts for 3 years? Oh my God, it is just, I mean, look, you can see it's just so critical.
They are, you know, and there's so many more now, because people are actually designing their own fonts and loading them up on the internet. So, I mean, there's the nice thing is there's a lot of font websites where you can put in your actual name of your company, and it will show you how your company name will look in all those different fonts.
I was going to say, it's 1,001 fonts, isn't it?
That's it. Squirrel. There's Squirrel as well, which are quite good.
Okay.
And sometimes I would actually say to a branding client, you know, if you want to go and have a look, go and try it out for yourself, because actually then give me those ideas, and then it helps me to narrow down where we're going, rather than me spend a couple of hours doing something and you go, oh no, I really don't like that.
But it's also about understanding the emotion that certain fonts evoke. Yeah.
I actually saw a fitness somebody, it was years ago, and it was a lady who ran a fitness company, and the typeface was like the one in the middle of my screen now, the really thick, heavy one. And it was like, well, what are you trying to say? Because that looks fat and frumpy. If you're a fitness company, surely it should be lithe and light and energetic.
Yeah.
So it can really make or break a logo. And definitely
it really can. I mean, just to touch on it, one of the first exercises that we had to do, we had 2 buckets in this typography class, and you had to pick one word from each bucket. One word in the bucket. One bucket was full of words that were like emotive words, or just sort of had a feeling, and the other bucket was full of just really mundane words. So I picked out one word of the emotive one. I picked out night, Night, and in the other one I picked out the word escalator.
Right.
I'll never forget. So I had to go.
I think I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I've lost. All right. I thought it was me.
No. I was looking at you thinking, are you moving as well? I think we were both keeping still watching, weren't we?
Oh no, my internet's not great from here, so it was a bit like, oh, is it me? Carol, it was really good. I wanted to hear what she was saying.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she's realised that she's frozen by now. We'll get back on.
Oh.
When you were talking about the big fat font, were you talking about the JGB pest control?
Yeah,
the one in the middle. Yeah. And I'm at a stage with my business. I don't like my domain name or my company name, actually. Yeah. So I couldn't get Lindawood Coaching. I couldn't think of something fancy to call myself instead. So I ended up, and I was doing a bit of consultancy work as well around change management. So I thought, well, Lindawood Consulting could embrace all of that. But I'm kind of putting up with it rather than loving it. and I don't know whether to change the domain or leave it as it is, but just have a different kind of strap line under it, because I've never really worked on that. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, you could get, when you decide, if you buy another domain name, you can forward the other one onto it, so you don't have to lose what you've got already. What do you feel you don't like about Linda Wood Consulting? Do you think it is, because it is all about you, and it's about how you're dealing with customers and your clients, and your personality, really?
Yeah, I think it sounds formal. It does allow for everything that I do, so it's good in that respect. And I guess people find me easy enough because it's got my name in it. But I also hear a lot of advice where people say you should have a name like anxietyfreeexecutive.com, or, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know.
If you came up with a very concise strap line, as you said, you could do that and run that under Linda Wood Consulting, and then you could buy the domain name in the same strap line. I've got my strap line is Creating Business by Design, but I've got that as a URL as well. So if somebody searches for Creating Business by Design, it will go straight to my A&G Creative Design website. So you could do that, and therefore people who would remember your strap line or remember part of it, you're likely to catch those in the search terms as well.
Yeah. So it's just some kind of at that point. I'm going to make a decision by October, because that's when I renew it for the year anyway, or don't. But
if you lose it, you'll lose all the I don't know what you call it, all the links you've already developed for it. So if I were you, I'd still keep it, but then add another one that you could 301 it to the other site, to the same site. Yeah. So I'd renew it.
I guess it's not lent itself to a nice logo design either. LWC, Linda WC, you know, I sort of think, oh, I don't know. My husband.
Then I'd do it as in Linda Wood and with consulting underneath.
Yeah. My husband designed one for me. He used to be a graphic designer. So he's designed something and I've used it and it's been okay. You know, I just don't love any of it.
One of my things is you've got to love your logo. You've got to.
Yeah.
What is she going to appear?
Hopefully she'll be joining us again. I don't know if it's still being recorded or not. If Carol's not here, I don't know.
No, it might not. It says live. So Carol, where are you? Come back.
Oh, so it's still streaming on Facebook. Yeah.
Sorry, better keep talking.
Yeah. We can come back to this if we need to.
No, I'm interested. I think women in business suffer quite harshly sometimes. I think we're hit with the I'm not good enough and all that bits and pieces. Hello.
Oh, there she is. I can't hear you, Carol, yet.
Yay! Sorry, my computer crashed.
Oh no!
My computer crashed. I'm on my laptop now.
we didn't know if it was us, so we kind of sat there going, "Oh."
Oh no! Carry on. It's brilliant. Have you carried on?
Yeah.
Well, we were just chatting, but
where are we at? Where are we at with the whole design bit? I was just telling you about my escalator and night and stuff.
Yes.
I was wanted to hear what happened.
Oh no! I had to turn the word escalator into something that looked like night, as in, and I had to choose a really heavy black font so that it would evoke the feeling of night. Basically,
I love that idea.
So it's a good one for really sort of picking a font. You just pick out a word or you pick out a feeling or an emotion. You say, right, go away and choose a font that you think fits that emotion.
Yeah. No, I really like that exercise. That's a good one. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on. I want to hear more about how you design a logo.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, the next one is I go away and start scribbling. So I go through all the results and all the information that the client sent me, and then I sit and I just scribble, and I probably do the same things over and over again and get them out of my head. So get them onto paper and then transfer them, then picking the best ones or the things that will work. And a lot of the time, some of the things just won't work on screen. So that's usually what takes me a lot of time to work them out. And then create several, as you can see, quite a lot of different ideas. Often we might have some colours by this point, or if not, we go down a colour scheme and try different colours. And then after the initial designs go to the client, then we kind of whittle it down and try different fonts with the different images or different colours, until we get to the final. In this way, it was the final two, and she decided to have both. And later we actually went on and did Totally You. So I think the other logo, the yellow, I can't remember which one stayed as it was, but one became Totally Me and one became Totally You. So this particular client is about transformation, about coaching, finding your inner self, developing your inner self, growing and being authentic and finding your way, really. So
And I can see the fingerprint.
You got the fingerprint for identity, and also the images of perhaps what you were like, perhaps when there was a very pale figure in the background of the wings as well. So it's like bringing yourself out to be the best you can be. So that was a totally me.
It's great. That's so
Lovely
cool.
colours. And then another example.
Oh,
Gosh.
Yes, you were going to say something, Bob.
No, go for it.
Okay. This is a private doctor's surgery, and they wanted it to be 5-star. So they wanted to incorporate gold 5 stars in. They were quite clear they wanted the FF or feathers. So you can see there's quite a lot of different styles of feathers, whether they're more ornate or more realistic. And then we were also trying to integrate the medical, I forget what it's called, the snake going around the poles. So we tried those. And then you kind of whittled it down again, tried different colours. They decided then that they wanted to go to more of the blues, while still keeping the gold. And then the heart sign, looking after, caring, and that's really what came out of it. So we tried different ways of putting the typography in, so as you've done with yours, either to the left, to the right, centered, but it lends itself, so it works either way. So that was a nice.
That's lovely. That's a lovely logo.
They ended up nice and clean. I'm very particular. I don't like logos that are too fussy, because they've got to appear very small sometimes, and on websites you want them to stand out. So yellows, I believe, are not great on websites.
No.
So I like the logos to be identifiable even at a small size. So it's something I'm particular about, and not so that they fill in, because taking them down, you lose so much clarity. So that's something I'm particularly.
No, they have to work tiny, even under an email and stuff like that.
Yeah, quite. This was only recently done, actually. It's for a Blitzkrieg Kids radio station. So the designs on the far right were their scribbles that they sent me, on the left, right, whatever. So we then developed them into some simple shapes. It had to have an 80s feel to it. We got to that point, and they then found out that one of their competitor stations was using the lightning bolt. So it had to start all over again. So, right, and they wanted the eye. So it was like, how am I going to do that? And this is what we came up with. So it worked beautifully. I used the eye, the central design from the previous ideas, and the typeface, because it's very neon still, and made it into a record almost. So
wow, yeah,
absolutely love it. It's everywhere. So it's just the digital radio, and they've posted it everywhere they possibly can, which is fantastic. So that was really lovely. Right, then I've got a few examples of logos here that I've done. So they're from education consultants.
Oh, did you do the YBC?
Yes, I did. So I've known Ted for a long time. So yep, so I've done YBC, printers, solicitors. Facelace is it's a cosmetic application for eyes, and Phyllis Cohen was the makeup artist to Dave Bowie, among other things. So she's quite well known. And Facelace are all over Instagram at the moment as well. So, but I did her original logo for her a few years ago now. But it's good. Again, there's Basement Masters, which was the builders, where I said I use kind of rosier colours. Banking, accountant.
Well, that's really clever. I like the basement one.
Yeah, that was it. His strap line is creating space beneath your feet. So I haven't got that on there, but yeah. So it's very varied. I love doing all sorts. And Epping Forest Heritage Trust I work for.
I think what comes out of this is just how important it is to use a professional.
It is, and yes, a lot of the time you can come up with something like you have, but you're professional. You've got a design background, so you know what you're looking for, and what you've created for yourself is absolutely superb, I think. But a lot of people, they don't have often the colour, the grasp of colour or the grasp of fonts and spacing. Spacing's really important.
Yeah, I think, and it's the font is your name. But it also has got to evoke that. It's just so important, as I think people have gleaned from this. That's amazing.
So therefore, from the logo, you then go on and create all the rest of your media. So I would a couple of bits of advice I would give. I think that's how to refer me. So I'll stop sharing my screen. So
we're
what
back.
I would say is, if anybody gets someone to do their logo, they must get a vector file of their logo, which is usually an EPS or a PDF, which is sometimes people save JPEGs as PDFs, which is no good, but they must have a vector file, because then you can blow it up to whatever size you need. I see so many people, I do a lot of redraws and recreations where people have been given JPEGs and pings, and you can't do a pull-up banner. If you've got a logo which is only 2 inches in size, there is no way you can create a pull-up banner. Or sometimes, I had one a few months ago, they weren't even good enough for a Facebook page cover, which was really small. So, and I also found out, this is another thing I found out, people throw EPS files away because they can't open them. Well, I never realised that, so that was a learning curve.
So now you package it up, don't you? Package up all the files, and everybody keep all your logo files. Do not throw your EPS file away. Do not throw any files away, because then it comes to somebody, then it comes through to me, and I need to work on different sort of sizes and different things for the website. I'm not doing print work, of course, but then sometimes people will send me, you can reduce the size of a file or a logo. You cannot increase it, because otherwise it will lose all the clarity. It will get pixelated.
Yep, that's right. And the other thing that the problem is they'll only sometimes supply them in either RGB colour or CMYK. Well, CMYK is basically for print. But sometimes, we've had one recently, the client supplied a logo to me for business cards in RGB, which is red, green and blue, which is web screen colours. And when it was printed, because it was blues tend to go badly wrong, it was a completely different colour, and the client rejected it. But there was no other colour format to actually compare it with.
No.
So that's often why you do need a professional, and you need professional web design and professional graphic design.
for all that kind of stuff. Brilliant.
Stuff.
And then
Yes.
I think what we'll do is we will wrap it up for today, but I think, you know, maybe next week or the week after on the drop-in, I'll take it. We'll maybe do this kind of thing part 2 in how to start a business, and taking it through then into web design.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
And really what you really need to consider to get a professional website when you start a business.
Yeah.
But I think covering the design, covering just getting a domain name and getting a logo and a brand is just fantastic.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. I
Really good. Well, I was so
lovely.
pleased when you popped up, because I was just I was going to sort of babble away by myself, which I'm quite capable of doing. I just sit there and stare at my screen and babble. But
it's lovely. Thank you.
it's been really brilliant. And Linda, thanks so much for joining us. Have you learned anything from this?
Oh, definitely, because I'm at the stage I was saying to Ange whilst you were not online in the middle there, that
Well, I was
I
crashed.
don't love my logo and I don't love my domain name. So I'm in a sort of, well, what do I do about that? Do I keep the domain name but have a different sort of strap line? And, you know, how do I go with that? So that was useful to actually have that bit of space and conversation in the middle there as well.
Yeah.
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 I'd find a strap line for you. Find a strap line that you love, and it describes what you do for people, and then integrate that into your logo.
And can I just say, it can take quite a while.
It took a year for me to rebrand in 2013.
Oh, especially if
So-
it's your own.
and
If
that
you're
was
like,
me.
yeah, I know, it's even worse, isn't it? But we came up with the strap line. I think it took maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
I had other strap lines. I had strap lines before, but till we nailed the one that we've got, which is making people click.
Oh yes, I like that one. Yeah.
So it's We Get Digital, and it's making people click. And we just we just haven't changed it since.
It's
It
perfect.
just yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
creating business by design. You know, what else can you say? I create business by design.
Absolutely. No, exactly. So it's when you find, but Linda, you've got to, but listen, chuck them at me and Angie, and we'll just
Yeah.
we can brainstorm a bit with you or whatever. No problem.
Oh, thank you.
Happy to
Yeah.
chat. Happy to talk
Yeah.
stuff through anytime. No
I'll have a
worries.
go at strap lines then, and then you can really thumbs up, thumbs down.
Ask some of your better clients
Mhm.
and ask them what it means to them to work with you and what you actually do for them, because you might get some really interesting replies
Mm.
and it might just go, oh my God. So
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much, ladies. I think this is, to me, it's been I think it's been one of the best drop-ins we've done, because it comes on the spur of the moment. Everybody's, inputting. I love it. So
Okay.
have a great week,
Yeah,
and we'll see you next Monday, hopefully.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All righty. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.